Welcome to another episode of Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news and insights from Littlefield Agency.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, man. Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. It has been forever, but it's only been like 10 days.
Yeah, I took off last week. Claudia took off last week.
I was here and I wanted to go live and I got shut down.
Yeah, Brandon wouldn't allow it.
Really?
Yeah, no, Brandon didn't trust
I'm actually being serious. I was like, hey, Brandon, we're going to do that thing. He's like, man, basically no.
Yeah, which kind of surprised me, but yeah.
How was spring break? Well, let's start with Claude. Claude,
yeah,
how
Claude
was
had a better one.
You had a pretty cool spring break. What'd you do?
I went to Scottsdale, Arizona for the first time.
Good weather?
Really nice. It was actually really cold when I first got off the airplane. I was like, what the fuck?
No.
I was like, it's colder here than it is in Tulsa. But that was just because it rained, and it only rains like 5 days a year there.
Oh,
and
holy smokes.
It was like 2 of the days that we were there.
Oh, my goodness. But then I saw some sunshine.
But then there was sunshine. We went to the spring training baseball game and saw Chelsea Clement.
And will you tell our listeners how you...
Wait. Did she acknowledge seeing you?
They took a picture.
She
She
did.
never acknowledges seeing me at Target.
I've seen her in public like 3 times. And
She never acknowledges me in public.
She doesn't acknowledge you?
No.
Not him.
Neither of you?
But no, she was walking.
Denny
like,
does.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
He
guy.
does.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, yeah, she was like walking around, like trying to find her seat, like really aggressively walking. And I was like,
Yeah.
Chelsea, like, hey.
That's how you recognize her.
How'd you spot her?
Oh, she's just like really short with blonde hair.
Yeah, that chick.
Yeah.
And kind of sassy.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you had
super
a birthday
sassy.
last week, right?
I did have my birthday last
What number?
week. 25.
20. She can freaking drive a rental car now.
Yes, I can.
I never understood that. It's like you could do so
That's
many other
the dumbest
It's the
thing.
dumbest thing ever, but congratulations.
Thank
you. Made
you.
it.
Thank you.
And you don't look a day over 20.
Thank you.
You can do, once you hit 25, you can do anything. Like you
Yeah.
hit everything now.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
vote, you can drink.
You can rent a
Rent a
car,
car.
Yeah.
travel to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
It's great. It's wonderful. Roop, what'd you do? Not nearly as glorious.
No, I stayed home. I had a staycation, and I had a list of chores and things to knock out, and I did get the list complete.
All of them.
Yeah,
Because you're a
including-
checkbox guy.
Yeah, I was, and I had a checkbox. We rented a massive dumpster, and we threw out. We filled it, and I can't tell you how crazy it is.
You filled a massive
I filled
dumpster?
a massive dumpster. We had a bed in there. It was huge. It was almost half the size of this room.
What does that go for? It's about $100 to rent a
About
dumpster.
$260.
Okay.
I had it
That's
for the
actually
day.
money well spent.
And then you can keep it every day for $5, but I got it out of there the next day. We got it all done today,
Wow.
and it was full. And I was like, I can't believe how much junk was in my house.
Dude.
That like I could have just thrown away, and the space is great. So that was that. It seems dumb, but when you're old, that's
that actually
exciting
sounds
stuff.
like a lovely spring break. I'm not gonna, like, as I'm getting old. Like right now, we need to reorganize our garage, and we have a huge storage closet upstairs that's just full of. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
all sort of. We just throw things in there.
Same.
But guess what? When we try to do it, one of our kids gets into something or has a meltdown, or mom, dad, one day, which is love our kids, of course. But it's like I need time like that.
just a full day, knock it out.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on my radar. Well, welcome back. It was very, for those of you that are aware, it's, I just talked to a client this morning. It's spring breakup, and they're part of the country. Oklahoma's was last week. I think we had 7 people here. Like it was very quiet on for our Oklahoma clients. So it's nice to have I get my energy off of you guys.
That's why Brandon wouldn't let you record on your own.
100%. He actually kept his distance from me all week. Kind of weird. Hey, we are back in action this week. Obviously, great topic coming for you here shortly. Claude and Roop are with a client most today, tomorrow, Ditch Witch.
Yep.
Right? Doing some cool content.
Content shoot, yeah.
Which will be wonderful. And then we've got some great things coming up. Last full week of March is kind of weird to say that. It's like, I'm telling you, I always tell people,
by.
I miss 25-year-old over here.
Yeah.
I swear to God, when you get through January and you got February is a short month, boom, you blink and it's summer, and then boom, you blink and it's Christmas. It's wild.
Time really rolls fast.
It really
Time
does.
rolls fast, man. Claude, wait until you have
One
kids
minute you're
day.
25, the next you're 52.
And that is kind of great.
Yeah, you're
A
going to
young
be 52 soon.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday, any big plans?
No,
No?
not really. I think we're going out with the family to have sushi or
That
something.
sounds
Like
great.
that.
That sounds wonderful. 52. I remember when you turned 50.
Yeah, it's a big party.
That was a great party. All right, Claude, let's hit our topic. Roop, I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
What's the difference between digital and content marketing, and how and the world do they work together?
Wow, what a way to introduce the topic this week. Good job. So yeah,
I'm on my third cup of coffee. I'm just a little jittery this morning.
Yeah, last we were on the podcast, we told everyone we have a new insanely crazy coffee machine.
It's pretty amazing.
And
we're actually going to do a post about it.
Yeah, we probably will. It's doing some damage on Sam right now.
Digital marketing post or a content marketing post?
See what
I did there?
What is the difference between digital and content marketing? Because generally you hear these things somewhat interchangeably sometimes, but there is a difference. I always like to talk about digital marketing as something that you might see and you recognize as an ad.
Yep.
So like a banner ad or a pre-roll video, things like that.
Paid search ad,
things that have media behind them, although content can also have media.
And when you say media behind it, right? Paid media.
Yeah, paid media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are ads. Where content marketing is something you probably read in a news feed or might have been shared with you on social media or something like this. So it's a little bit more organic. It's a little less obvious that it's an ad sometimes. And it's not trying to do usually the hard sell.
Totally.
So an ad's ready for you to take action, click, come learn more, watch this thing, download this PDF, whatever. Content marketing is more trying to show value to your customers and get them to understand that you know who they are as people and what their kind of dreams and hopes and fears are in their daily life and in their jobs. And just kind of get it's how you stay relevant in front of them. People
kind of buttering them up.
Yeah. People may see an ad and then never think of it again. But if you can get them to subscribe to a podcast or a video channel, or sign up for your emails and get your newsletter email in their inbox, that's ongoing relationship building versus an ad that kind of has a shorter shelf life in front of that person.
I always like content marketing, and I think we're doing such a better job here at the agency. Just focus on ourselves, right? It's entertainment and education.
That's how you hook them in.
That's a huge primary focus for Claude and Roop. And then digital marketing, of course, like there absolutely is an entertainment and education part of it, especially top of funnel, right? As we're introducing them into your marketing and sales funnel, whether they've heard of you before or whether they have not. It's a huge opportunity to keep those methodologies in place. Yeah. But then again, just with the paid effort. But let's walk through. This is great. We have a couple of different breakouts here that Roop provided, and would love for you hit 3 or 4 of these.
Sure.
And
so yeah, this is just.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
One important part, and the reason that we're talking about it is like, well, digital and content marketing. We talked to a lot of B2B prospective clients that, and there's one in particular a couple of years ago. It's like, oh yeah, no, we got a paid strategy and we're all good. And I was like, yeah, well, okay, what's your content marketing strategy? Oh, we do some social media.
Yeah.
And a lot, especially in the B2B world, a lot of people put more eggs in the paid basket, which is great, and not as many in the diversifying for content. So please lead.
Or even even if you think you're doing social media, if every post you make is a hard sell about a new product or a new sale or sale or something like that, a campaign you have running or a limited time offer, that's still kind of a marketing focus. Yeah. That's not really content. But yeah, we have some stuff we just thought we'd further break down based on things like channels and tactics, what inbound versus outbound is, brand positioning, stuff like that, and how these break together. By the way, they work together. I think we mentioned that at the top. Digital and content marketing work together. And content marketing has a place in almost every part of the funnel, although, as you mentioned, it really operates best at the top, kind of for awareness and bringing them in there. There's a whole other, I think we may do another podcast on the flywheel.
Dude, we haven't done that, boy,
in a while, I know.
A year or two.
Content marketing,
Love
especially inbound content, has its own kind of chart that it uses instead of the funnel. But when it comes to like channels, digital marketing uses diverse channels like social media, email, PPC, and SEO, where content marketing is mostly blogs, videos, podcasts, and infographics, things like that. Things will draw you in.
I used to be a real sucker for a good infographic.
Yeah, of course you are. Everyone, we love them.
I don't see them as often. God, I feel like 7 years ago, right? Infographics were all the thing.
Yeah, and then quizzes became a thing for a while. Which is another one. What's great about a quiz is while the person's taking the quiz, you're learning about that potential customer.
Hey, I saw an email come through about a quiz actually today from a fabulous podcast listener. Well, I won't go into it right now, but I did see that email. I'm going to look into it later.
Content marketing came to you in the inbox, and you enjoyed it.
I actually really did.
Yeah,
caught my attention.
Caught your attention. Digital marketing aims to drive conversions mostly. So, like Chris's world of media is how many conversions did I get out of the spend. Content marketing is a little different. It's a little fuzzier, and people get a little frustrated with that. But it's about building long-term trust with the customer through relationships and storytelling.
And I think too, like I look at prospective customers and I look at current customers, right? Someone that has purchased said piece of equipment and then they're in the content marketing program from said client. And there's cross-sell opportunities.
Yeah.
There's great reminders. Oh, this is exactly why I interact and why I spent a lot of money with this brand. So
yeah, you got to earn
some different avenues.
You have to earn some trust with the customer before they're willing to make the purchase. Generally, that I find that to be true.
Totally.
So yeah, and content marketing I think stays in front of that customer through their journey. So they may not be ready to buy from you now, but if you can stay in front of them through a content effort, you'll be present when they are.
Well, and I think too something that, and you have it down here with brand positioning. Am I jumping the gun?
No, go ahead.
So one thought that comes to mind, and to any CMO that's listening to this, you're feeling the pressure. I've got to sell, right? Like C-suite wants more and more. Let's prove ROI. Let's prove that marketing's working. Totally get that. Totally respect that. To your point, Roop, about product marketing. We've got to push product, 100%. Content marketing gives you the brand play over time. That entertainment, that engagement, that education. I think there's something there because I get a lot of questions. I was on a podcast recently, or actually it was an interview, and it was talk about the long branding play in B2B, but then also you got to sell product as well. I think that totally comes into the digital marketing and content marketing balance.
Yeah. You can feature, you should, product and your brand in your content marketing, right?
100%.
Like it's okay to still feature it and talk about it as long as it's not really, so, hey, it's on sale this month and we got 20% off and act now and all that kind of stuff. You feel weird about that because that's sales tactics. We try to be a little bit less obvious, I think, in our media and marketing that we do. But the content part kind of comes in there way more organic. And it's, I think when you think about metrics, as I mentioned, Chris is looking at conversions and he's excellent at trying to get a really low cost per conversion. Content marketing doesn't really operate the same, although it can. We actually have at least a client or two that have some conversion opportunities within their content. It's not the main push, but if they happen, great. Content marketing usually gets measured more in terms of how many people have engaged with the content, how many people have seen it, how much time did they spend with it, and things like that. Is it working? Is it resonating with your audience?
Can you? This is actually very interesting. So how are you? And like whether a B2B client has an internal team or an agency partner or both, how are you and Chris working together?
Yeah,
because there's got to be a lot of synergies, right?
There is. So as I mentioned, content marketing can show up over in the paid side of things, and we definitely run some content campaigns where the content is promoted through a buy. The way that shows up though isn't necessarily as a banner ad. It's those see those little native things at the bottom where it's
absolutely.
like you finish an article on Yahoo and at the bottom there's like 4 or 5 little. Yeah, and they usually say sponsored in light gray, real small over the side. Those are the kind of places that you can sneak into as content and try to drag people over. They're not. They're kind of somewhere between banners and legit organic efforts. But that's an example. So yeah, there are opportunities to promote content, still get it in front of the audience that needs to see it, but it's also showing up organically in Google search results or whatever AI search is now, right?
Yeah.
So like it's showing up in those results. Your ads are not showing up in results. Yeah. Let's see how the difference there a little bit.
Well, and I think,
by the way, I'm not knocking ads. The ads,
no,
you gotta have
it's
them.
a pivotal part of
there's just a difference between the two.
Well, one thing that I think of too, Roop, is okay, content marketing. You're entertaining, you're educating, and you and Claudia and our clients might find some clues along the way of things that are really working. You can translate that into your paid effort, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let's get, and again, that's the whole point for A/B testing, for you trying new things.
Yeah.
It's just this constant reiterating. But I mean, I hear conversations all the time with you and Chris talking through that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and you want to see he's paying attention to that touch points. Like how many touch points before, how many times did someone have to see an ad? Oh, do it real clean. How many times did someone have to see a banner ad before they took action? It might be 2 or 3 times on average, right? If you can introduce some content in marketing into that equation, how many times did they have to see? Maybe that number comes down because they were actually able to spend some time with the content, enjoyed the content, got something out of the content. So the next time they saw the ad, they were ready to act.
Yes.
That content really is kind of buttering up or you say softening the beaches, right? Before they get stormed. So yeah, he's looking at that as well. And we run this concept of kind of king of the hill. So we'll run 10 articles that we think are going to do well or aimed at a specific audience or topic or whatever. And we'll run that for a while. And then in that time frame while they're running, we're creating new content. We'll look at that list after a couple of months, and Chris can say, hey, here's the top 8 out of 10. These bottom 2 are not performing. They're out. And we put 2 new contenders in to see if they can dethrone the king. So it's just a constant churn of new content coming in, which is good for the audience too. They're getting to see and present new stuff if they're not coming to the site.
Dethrone the king, man.
Yeah, it's
intense, but I love it. It's what we're here for. It's how seriously we take it.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's one more point here before we wrap. Customer journey. Roop says digital marketing touches every stage of the customer journey from awareness to conversion, while content marketing primarily nurtures prospects in the awareness and consideration stages.
Yeah.
One thing that I wrote down here at the beginning of this, Roop, I would love for you, whoever's listening, and I'm going to do this myself, map out your customer journey just as you as a consumer. Whether you're purchasing something on Amazon, I want to give you an example. Our son just turned 4 last week, and we have a yard, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do an in-ground trampoline at some point over the next year. I got to give a shout out, trampolines.com. Fabulous job. They do in-ground trampolines. Their content's great, and they're paid ads after the fact, from retargeting to Gmail ads, sponsored social ads, etc. Very, very good. And I think about this, it's not cheap to buy an in-ground trampoline, and I look at this marketing funnel sales cycle, and boy, right now they're just staying top of mind. I'm not ready to buy yet, but they're looking at my intent and understanding where I am in the funnel. So it'll be very interesting to see. I'm going to purchase at some point over the next year. Might be this summer, could be next summer. I don't know. But that one's like very interesting. So your homework, I guess, is think about a purchase, whether it's a pair of shoes, whether it's a trampoline. Roop, are you looking to buy anything?
No, I'm laying low for a while.
Just map it out, because, and then you're thinking, oh, well, Sam, this is, that we're not a B2C play. We're still getting into the minds of consumers who are making a B2B purchase.
Yeah, right? And
that's the most important thing we can't forget.
And if you hit that content, you read it, they know you're already a little more interested than the guy who's seeing a banner ad cold, right? Mm-hmm. So perfect retargeting. You just kicked off a string of retargeting, and I think a lot of times that happens to people. They see something in a social feed and they maybe click on it. And that's an interesting article. And they click it and they're like, okay. And then they leave. And all of a sudden they're getting a lot of banner ads and they're being kind of followed around the net, which, we do, with offers and kind of follow-ups. That's where you can kind of see content marketing slide in as part of that journey and part of that stage stuff. So anyhow, it's good and we like it and I like doing it and it's fun.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So think about, your consumer journey examples, just whether it's recently or, something that's top of mind. And then also be thinking, how does paid and how does your content marketing efforts
work together
synergistically going forward? It's still early on in the year. You guys have a lot of product to sell. And from brand to product, et cetera, just something to be mindful about. It's a good reminder, right? It's always a good reminder at these points.
Yeah, it is one of those things. I think we often interact with a new client, and they kind of have or have had an ad strategy or a media budget or things like that. But the content part's usually not there in the way it should be. Well, we put up press releases. That's not really.
Yeah, that's some traditional content.
Yeah, that's not really luring people in.
One piece of a large pie.
Yep.
So we have a newer client that we're starting to kind of dabble and think through on that content opportunity. And to us, I think it's one of the most fun sessions.
It's another one of those things that folks are like, we don't really have enough to say in content. I promise you do.
Well, and I'm glad you said that. A couple months ago, I tasked Claudia and Roop, and I was like, hey, I read some recent study. LinkedIn is really pushing for 20 posts a month. And when we first said that, right, you're like, oh my God, 20, that's a lot. Okay, we'll give it a try.
Working day.
One a working day. And you're sitting there thinking, oh man, that's a lot. How would I do that for my brand? We're almost 3 full months into the year, and you all have done 20 posts a month. And it's really good. And it's a lot of entertaining and it's a lot of education.
Yeah.
And it's made us think differently on how we as a smaller agency and a company, provide that content, think through that content. So for you as a bigger B2B brand, lots of opportunity. Super, super cool. So you guys are crushing it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Claude, happy belated birthday. You too. Welcome back from spring break. To our listeners, whether it is spring break now or last week or maybe a week forward from now, enjoy the spring weather. It's 80 degrees here in Tulsa today and absolutely gorgeous. I love the spring.
Might be patio time.
WFP, baby.
Work from patio.
All right, you all have a great week. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening.
Adios.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. We hope you've enjoyed our little chat and found ways to grow your own marketing strategies. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media @Littlefield Agency.